Hey everyone, and welcome to Broadway Laughs, the episode dedicated to all things hilarious on the Great White Way in the 1950s. If you're a fan of side-splitting comedy, toe-tapping tunes, and enough jazz hands to make a lobster jealous, you've come to the right place. Now, before we get this show on the road, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to ding that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming comedic deep dives. Today, we're taking a trip down memory lane to revisit some of the funniest musicals ever to grace the Broadway stage. We're talking gut-busting laughs, unforgettable characters, and songs that'll have you humming along for days. So, buckle up, theater fans, because we're about to embark on a laughter-filled journey you won't soon forget. First up, we're kicking things off with a true comedic masterpiece, The Producers. Now, this show is about a washed-up Broadway producer, Max Bialystock, and his neurotic accountant, Leo Bloom, who come up with a foolproof scheme to get rich quick. Their plan? Produce the biggest flop in Broadway history. The genius of The Producers lies in its outrageous characters and over-the-top humor. I mean, you've got Max, the epitome of a down-on-his-luck showman, and Leo, who's about as comfortable with a scheme as a cat, in a bathtub full of hair gel. And let's not forget the unforgettable Franz Liebkind, the ex-Nazi playwright responsible for the surefire flop, Springtime for Hitler. From the iconic musical numbers like We Can Do It to the side-splitting dialogue, The Producers is a non-stop laugh riot that'll leave you wanting more. It's a true testament to the fact that sometimes the best way to make it big is to aim for the bottom. Next up, we're venturing into the slightly more unconventional side of Broadway comedy with Avenue Q. Now, if you're easily offended by puppets who drop F-bombs and sing about internet porn, this might not be the show for you. But if you're up for a hilarious and surprisingly heartwarming look at the ups and downs of being a young adult, then strap in. Avenue Q follows the story of Princeton, a bright-eyed college graduate who moves to New York City with big dreams and an even smaller bank account. He soon discovers that life in the Big Apple isn't all sunshine and rainbows, especially when you're living on a street populated by furry monsters, a closeted Republican investment banker, and a former child star who's seen better days. With its catchy tunes, witty lyrics, and characters that are both relatable and ridiculously funny, Avenue Q is a breath of fresh air in a world of squeaky clean puppet shows. It's a reminder that even when life throws you curveballs, a little laughter and maybe a song about Schadenfreude can go a long way. Now, if you're looking for a show that's not afraid to push the boundaries of taste and tackle sensitive topics with a healthy dose of satire, then look no further than The Book of Mormon. This Tony Award-winning musical from the creators of South Park is a hilarious and surprisingly thought-provoking exploration of faith, doubt, and the power of friendship. The show follows the misadventures of two young Mormon missionaries who are sent to Uganda to spread the word of their faith. Elder Price is the picture-perfect missionary, eager to share the gospel and earn his place in heaven. Elder Cunningham, on the other hand, is, well, let's just say he's a bit of a character. He's prone to embellishing the truth, obsessed with science fiction, and not exactly what you'd call a model missionary. When these two polar opposites are thrown together in a remote Ugandan village facing poverty, famine, and a warlord with a penchant for genital mutilation, their faith is put to the ultimate test. The Book of Mormon is a hilarious and often outrageous musical that manages to be both irreverent and heartwarming. It's a reminder that sometimes the best way to deal with life's absurdities is to laugh at them. And now for something completely different. Okay, maybe not completely different. Spamalot, the Tony Award-winning musical lovingly ripped off from the classic comedy film Monty Python and the Holy Grail, is a hilarious and absurd journey through King Arthur's quest for the Holy Grail. Except, with more singing, dancing, and a lot more coconuts. If you're a fan of Monty Python's signature brand of surreal and silly humor, then you're in for a treat. From the Knights Who Say Ni to the Killer Rabbit of Caer Banog, Spamalot is packed with all the iconic gags and characters from the film, brought to life on stage with a Broadway twist. Spamalot is the perfect example of a show that doesn't take itself too seriously and embraces its own silliness. It's a reminder that sometimes the best way to deal with life's challenges is to just throw on a silly hat, grab a coconut, and gallop off into the sunset. Finally, we're ending our comedic journey with a show that's a love letter to musical theater itself, Something Rotten. Set in the Renaissance, this hilarious musical follows the Bottom brothers, Nick and Nigel, who are struggling to make a name for themselves in the theatrical world. The problem? Their competition is none other than the rock star of the Renaissance himself, William Shakespeare. Desperate for a hit, Nick seeks out the help of a soothsayer who predicts that the next big thing in theater will be musicals. Yes, you read that right. In the world of Something Rotten, musicals are a brand new concept, and the Bottom brothers are determined to be at the forefront of this theatrical revolution. With its catchy tunes, witty lyrics, and a healthy dose of Shakespearean satire, Something Rotten is a hilarious and heartwarming tribute to the power of theater. It's a reminder that even in the face of stiff competition and the occasional plague, the pursuit of a dream is always worth the effort, even if it means inventing a whole new genre of theater along the way. Well, folks, that's it for our whirlwind tour of Broadway's funniest musicals. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane as much as I did. From the outrageous characters to the unforgettable songs, these shows are a testament to the power of laughter and the magic of live theater. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Broadway laughs and behind-the-scenes shenanigans. And don't forget to share this video with your fellow theater-loving friends. Until next time, remember, life's too short to be anything but completely and utterly ridiculous. Now go forth and spread the laughter.